and welcome back to Nothing Fancy. Ooh.
I'm your co-host, Joanna.
And I'm your co-host, Jaden. This microphone, girl, we have some sort of technical difficulty every single week.
Every time.
It's almost...
It's our first times.
Huh?
I said it's our first times.
It's our... Except that was last week.
You're right.
You're right.
You right.
So go listen to that episode right now.
Did you introduce yourself?
Oh, I didn't. Hi, I'm also your co-host, Jaden. Hi. Forgot that I exist here sometimes.
It's okay. It can be my podcast now.
I literally forgot. I was like, huh. You're like, did you introduce? I'm like, did I? Probably not. Interesting. Anyways, so first of all, for this week's news of the week. I don't know. Oh, Trump has COVID. I mean,
That's what he gets.
That's
the karma of 2020.
God, go ahead and call him on up and then send him on down.
Like, that is not where he's going.
No, God has to judge him first. I mean, there's really not much judging he has to do. It's pretty self-explanatory.
But
oh, freaking frack. I forgot to fix my payment method. Whoops.
Oh no, that's also news of the week.
Also news of the week. I don't know what other news of the week that there is. I feel like
Me either.
I am...
I
Joanna
got a new
car. Joanna got a new car.
It's so nice.
Isn't it?
I bought it. I'm an adult now.
You bought it yourself?
Yeah, not technically.
Well, she said,
But
I'm
yeah.
an adult now. I hate you.
It's a lot of responsibility that I'm not ready for. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that big time. I cannot relate. I did not buy a new car, for anybody wondering.
He did.
I am
Still has his janky shit. I'm just kidding.
No, it's a Jeep. It's not janky. Ariana Jeepers
Janky
Grande. Janky Jeep?
Mm-hmm.
No.
That's
That's Ariana Jeepers Grande's nickname. Janky Jeep.
Janky Jeep.
Janky
There's
Jeep
nothing
Grande.
wrong with his car either.
Oh my god, Janky sounds like Frankie. Oh no.
I hate you.
I feel bad now. Oh well, I don't care. Ariana Grande, if you are ever listening to this, I really do love you and Frankie both. Mostly you though. I love you so much. Put me on an album, bitch. Anyways. Period. So for this week's episode, I can like every time. I don't know why this is so wobbly today. What the hell?
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble.
Wobble, baby, wobble. So for today's episode, we're going to be doing a like ghost stories. We're in the month of October. It's Spooktober.
Ooh.
It's so loud. Did you turn it up?
No.
Oh, I need to turn it down because I can't hear nothing. Or I can't hear nothing.
I was like...
I need to turn it down because I can't hear anything.
Wow, okay.
I just don't want to hear anything even more now. So yeah, so we are going to be telling some spooky stories, mostly
spooks.
ghost stories. Spooky spooks. We're going to be telling some ghost stories of things that have happened to us and or people that we know.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm so excited. I'm kind of scared. One of mine isn't really like mostly ghostly, but it is kind of scary. It was like one of the most terrifying things on this planet. So yeah. Anyway. Sorry, there was something on my finger. I looked down. I was like, what
Would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right. So, and I don't remember how much time we have. We have 20 minutes. Ooh. The first half. Spooky. I feel like I want to put like some copyright-free spooky music in the background, but I'm too lazy to do it, so. Okay, here it is. So the first one, what is the first one? Okay, so this happened probably about 2 years ago. So about 2 years ago, there was a point where my mom and my stepdad had like went out of town. They'd went out of town. And I remember, like, okay, so they weren't home. It was just me and Abu here. My sister was still in college at the time, so it was literally just me here at the house. And I was like, cool, great, tight, like, whatever, really good and fresh. I was chilling. It was a gratin. I was like, ooh.
Ooh, gratin.
And I went downstairs. I got some food. Really, it wasn't even food. I had hot Cheetos. It was food, technically. I had hot Cheetos, but I, like, made a sandwich. I make all my like, anytime the only time I ever eat a sandwich with mayo is when I have hot Cheetos, because it helps the hot Cheetos stick and not move around so much. And it adds, like, a nice flavor to the sandwich, I feel like.
They
so
are
like
really good together. Isn't
right.
that weird?
It's so weird. It adds, like, a nice, like, extra dimension of flavor, and I'm like,
and all on the sand.
and it's perfect. And I'm like, and I cannot, like, I'm not kidding. Now I can't eat hot Cheetos, like a hot Cheeto sandwich without mayo on it.
Right.
I'm like, I will not even make a regular sandwich with mayo on it. That's it.
Spooky sandwiches.
It's a spooky sandwich. So anyways, so I just finished making the sandwich. I come back upstairs, me and Abu. We come into my room. At the time, I think my room was set up a little bit different. Actually, because I move my room around so frequently. No, I don't.
For what
my
you have
room
seen.
from like what y'all can see if you're watching the film version, how my bed is currently against the wall, like in this corner. So it was still, the headboard was still against this wall that's currently behind me, except it was just over and my nightstand was against the wall, so I had walking room and stuff. And I'm sitting in bed and I look over. My fan wasn't on, mind you. This is in the middle of winter, so obviously my fan's not gonna be on. Middle of winter, they were out of town. I'm like chilling in bed. I'm watching something on my laptop. I think I was watching probably Amazing World of Gumball, because I watch that all the time, and Bob's Burgers. And then the bag, I keep a trash bag on the back of my door. I'm too lazy to get a trash can. So there's a trash bag on the back of my door, and I just see it like swing back and forth. And I was like, okay, love that, super cute. I immediately began to cry. I called for my mommy. No, I should have though.
Oh, I was like, really?
Like, really? No. And so then I'm like, okay, cool, great, tight, whatever. I'm chilling. A few minutes goes by. The bag drops to the floor, and before the bag had dropped to the floor, literally like 10 seconds before, Abu's head like shot up, and he was just staring at my door. And then the bag drops to the floor, and I was like, and it's on the handle all the way.
Right.
So I was like, what the heck? And I was like, Abu, like, what are you looking at? And I'm like, just staring at him. And I go and I grab my phone. I'm trying to pull up Snapchat and like record him. Like, what the are you looking at? And I'm like trying to ignore the fact that like this is like the bag had just swung back and forth on my door. And then of course it like comes off the door handle. And I was just like, no, jail, prison, that whatever demon ghost is in my house, you are getting exorcised. Bye, out of here. We don't believe in that. I go and I'm like, okay, so I go get up, I pick up the bag, and I was like, love this is fun. And I'm sitting in bed, and then 10 minutes later, Abu had left a little bit after that, but then 10 minutes like from the time that the bag had fallen on the floor and I picked it up and I'm like sitting in bed, Abu is sitting at the top of the stairs just barking for no reason. I'm like, Abu, what are you doing? Buddy, stop it. Stop that right now. And so I like walk out of my room and I'm like, Abu, stop. And I like walk down the hall. I didn't turn on the hallway light or anything. Abu's just, and then like he's just sitting at the top of the stairs just staring down the stairs. And I was like, what are you fucking looking at? Like, and at this point I'm terrified. We have a rosary on our banister that our neighbor gave to me when I was in like 8th grade or something like that. And it was on my bed for the longest time, and then I eventually ended up just putting it on the banister because I was like, oh, like my little 8th grade brain, I was like, this will like protect the house. Jesus will protect the whole house, or just the hallway, doesn't really matter.
Just the hallway, whatever he wants,
whichever one is like easier for him, I don't care. And so like I go to the hallway, I'm like, Abu, no, let's go. So we go in my room, I close my door, I grab the rosary off the freaking banister, I put that on my bed, and I was like, ain't no demons about to come at me tonight because I don't play.
You said Jesus.
I said, Jesus, please come on down and protect me.
And protect me, please.
I was terrified that night. I literally like I could barely sleep. I was like, this is scary. Like
Yeah. It always happens when you're alone. Too.
Mm-hmm.
It's always when you're alone. And then you tell people, they're like,
Like, that really happened to you.
sure.
And I'm like, literally, like, and you have to find people who also believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
And you get so lucky because you're like, thank God someone, like, doesn't think
You're
I'm
like,
crazy.
I'm not crazy.
Like, I'm not crazy. People don't think I'm lying. Like, like, no. Like, that was terrifying.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah, I mean, you can't control that. But sure, never again.
I want to, like, I've always been, okay, this is, like, a dumb little thing, but, like, do you know what astral projecting is?
I've heard of it. I don't exactly know what it is.
Okay, so it's like when you, it's like when you go to sleep, you have to, like, stay completely still. You're essentially just laying on your back.
Mm-hmm.
You go to sleep, and then after, like, your body essentially is, like, tired, you end up waking up at some point. And when you wake up, you can't move, like, you do not move your arms, but, like, you're essentially, like, moving your soul, your spirit, your, like, being, but not your actual physical body.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you're able to, like, do, like, move around, like, do all these things and, like, see yourself. Like, essentially it's like an out of body experience, like, but like you can actually see yourself in some sense. I've always been terrified to do that because I'm like, ooh, what if I astral project and then a demon inhabits my body and then I can't get back into my own fucking body? Like, they lock me out of my fucking body like it's a
You're like, I
motherfucking
get
house.
stuck.
Exactly. And then I'm pissed, and I'm like, and then they
I'm
ruin my
pissed.
life, and then like the next day they, like, leave my body, and then I'm finally able to come back into my own body, and then I find out that my whole life is ruined. Except I'd probably do some haunting shit, and I would, like, anytime that they try to ruin my life throughout the day or whatever, I would literally foil their plans.
Ooh.
Woo, bam, bitch, try again.
That's a good one.
So yeah, what's yours? How many do you have?
I mean,
You're like, I have 55.
well, I have a lot for, like, one instance, like, if that makes sense. Like, there's a ghost in my house. Which,
What's his name again?
I named him Stanley.
Stanley, that's right. Sister
Which,
Stanley.
I've heard is not good, to name the ghost. But,
Have you never seen Paranormal Activity?
he's clearly not leaving, so it's fine. And he's not doing any harm. I don't think he's a bad ghost. Like, honestly, because he's, like, bad things have never, like, happened because of it, if that makes sense. Like, I've only seen, like, I see shadows a lot. So my room is at the end of the hallway, and the bathroom is, like, right next to it, right? And
You just said the shadows.
so what I
no.
see, usually, like, when people come over and people are, like, going to the bathroom, sometimes people will pop their head in and, like, look at me or say something, just like pop their head in and go to the bathroom. And when I'm in my room, this was before, like, I had rearranged my room and everything. Like, I would sit on the ground and do stuff by my bed and, like, be on my computer or something, and I'd see, like, someone come and, like, look in my room, and I would just think it's, like, Erica or my mom or something. But then I'd get up and be like, so nobody was in the bathroom? What the fuck? I thought someone was in the bathroom.
Right.
And then I'd be like, did you go to the bathroom? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Sure you didn't. And then I'd say, I'd see something, they're like, okay. But there was this one time, clear as fucking day, dude. And it scared the fuck out of me. So, Erica was in the loft, and she was watching TV. And she was sitting in a beanbag. And, you can hear when someone sits down in the beanbag. And I heard her get up, and I think the kids were downstairs or something. And I heard her get up to go do something, but I never heard her sit back down, right? And I saw somebody run into my mom's room from my room. And I was like, oh, it's probably Erica. And Nadia came upstairs, and she went into the room, and I was like, she turned on the light, she just walked in there, and I was like, is Erica in there? And she was like, no. I was like, are you sure? She was like, she's in the loft. And I was like, is Velvet in there? Like, my dog? And I was like, she was like, no, nobody's in here. And I was like, Nadia, tell me you're fucking lying. And then I went over to Erica. I was like, were you sitting here the whole time? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, are you sure you didn't go to mom's room? She was like, I didn't go to mom's room. Like, clear as day, I saw a body do this, go into my mom's room. And I was like, freaking the fuck out. And then the next day, I went to go spend the night at my cousin's house. And she was, like, telling me how the night before, her and her brother, how we're talking, and her brother can see things. And people are gonna think I'm fucking crazy. My family's fucking crazy. No,
Like,
they are.
They're like, they're seeing things.
But-
maybe we call an institution.
Should we call a priest?
Should we call a priest? Do you want to see Jesus?
But she told me that he can see like ghosts and demons and shit and stuff like that. And she was like, "Oh yeah, he said there was one in your house, and he used to be really friendly to him when he was a little kid." And I was like, "India, shut the fuck up." I was like, "Take it back, no." And then she was like, "No, yeah, she said he was in the loft." And I was like, "I'm gonna fight you. Shut up."
You're like, stop talking, please.
No, and literally, because that she told me all this stuff that her brother can see and like all this stuff, and it freaked me out so much that I couldn't fall asleep when I was at her house. And she sleep talks, so she wakes up, and she doesn't know she wakes up. And every time she kept waking up, she would just stare at me, and I'd be like, "Are you okay? Are you all right?" She'd just be like, and she'd lay back down. I was like, I just wanted to be daytime already. You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed to be day. I was scared the whole time because, she said that her brother said that he can see demons, and he said that there's some that follow him.
Wait, hold on. I'm really scared. Okay, go ahead.
See? How do you think I... And he sees, like, they follow him. There are, like, 4 that follow him, I guess. And India's old room used to be in, like, the middle of the house. I think it says 11.
Yeah.
It used to be in the middle of the house. So, because she switched rooms. But since it was in the middle, they would walk through her room to get to his room. So the whole time I was like, why would you... I was like, I'm about to sleep over your house. Why would you tell me this?
You're like, you should have waited till tomorrow to tell me this.
She was like, I needed to tell somebody. And I was like, oh my God, no. And then I was like, so the whole time I'm looking at each door, freaking out, okay? Because she says that when that happens, when she's sleeping, she feels arms hold her, and it's her, like, guardian angel, like, protecting her. And I was like, bitch, I ain't gonna feel that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're, like, in tune with, like, their spirity shit.
I need to put another one in here. I forgot about that. Sorry.
Like, they're all in tune with it. Like, she does witchy shit now. Like, she can, like, she reads, what are those things called? Tarot cards and stuff like that. Like, she can do all that stuff now.
Be like a grimoire. Like the spell book.
Oh.
That's what they're called, right? I think.
I don't know.
Hey Siri. What are which books called?
Okay, I found this on the web for what a witch book's called.
No. Why do you be taking it just so literal? Hey Siri. What are witch books called?
Okay, I found this on the web.
Yeah,
for what a
grimoire.
witch book-
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. What was I saying?
She told you were scared. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. So after that, the next day when I went home, so after that, you know, I'm freaking out. I'm also like, I did not get a lot of sleep. And this was like around the time when I started, like, I had graduated and I was going to CCA. So I would be home a lot by myself because I didn't take very many classes. And
Right.
when I'd be home, I'd have to be downstairs. And so I'd fall asleep on the couch. And I'd fall asleep and then I'd hear tapping all around the house. And I'd be like, what the fuck is that? And I'd be like, oh, that's weird. I'd hear, like, tapping in the kitchen. And I'd be like, I'm just going to ignore that. Because I have dogs. So I was like, if the dog's freaking out, then I should be concerned.
Right.
So I wasn't really concerned because, like, they weren't freaking out, right? But then when I would start to take a nap, I'd hear people walking upstairs. And I was like, what the fuck is that? That's nobody. It's probably the dogs. It's probably the dog walking around upstairs. So I was not the dog because they're downstairs with me. So I was like, it's okay, it's fine, it's nothing. I just thought of, like, the house creaking or something.
I don't like this. Okay.
You want to do spooky shit. This is
Shut
your
up.
fault.
Leave me alone, bitch.
But I'd hear like walking around upstairs, and I'd be like, huh, that's concerning, but I'm gonna, I don't want to give in to it. I don't want to acknowledge it. So it just happened a lot.
I don't want to acknowledge that.
But I'd hear walking upstairs, and it would only be in the loft.
Mm-hmm.
And so after Indy told me the ghost is in the loft, I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, how'd he get in my house? I just want to know. This is like a newly built house. We're the only people who've lived in it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nobody died here. Who the fuck is in my house?
Nobody died here. They could have been buried underneath the house like years in the past. Like in history.
That's true. And I don't like thinking about that. But then,
Taking Colorado history, like there's some, like I'm currently taking a Colorado history class. There's so much crap that I learned, like where like stuff has happened in Colorado, and like then like I see like when I like think about like where certain things like events have happened today and stuff. I'll tell you about them later. But
Right.
like where like I've seen some stuff like that's happened before, I'm like, wait, this is like kind of crazy and like is really weird. I need to like I'll tell you later, like after the podcast, because like I'll have to like compile a list of them and like like from like where each one was and stuff like that. I hate these headphones because they're inside my ear so deeply.
If you move
It like makes the inside of my ear itch really bad, and I can't. And if I take it out, that's fine, and I can scratch it. But then I go to put it back in, it still makes my ear itchy. So I just have to like, push through. Anyways, sorry. He's in the loft. Sister Stanley was in the loft.
I told Erica, and then she started seeing things, and like not seeing things, but things would move around her, like, those unstoppable things that like you put in the washer.
Unstoppable things. What?
They're called unstoppables.
In
They're
the
like
washer?
little they're little beads, and you put them in the washer, and it makes your clothes smell good for longer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's a cap on it, and then it closes. Like, okay, it opens, and then you take the cap off, and then you open it again.
Right.
Okay. So in the thing to take it off, it's like kind of difficult to open. And we have in the laundry room, like in the hallway, there's a little thing in the middle where it was resting, but there's like a thing above it, so it's like this, like, so it couldn't just fall over.
Right.
But Erica was walking by, and it fell over, and it opened, and beads were everywhere. And I was like, huh, that's weird, don't like that. But then she went into the bathroom to go use the bathroom, and as she's using the bathroom, she said the toilet paper just started unrolling, like by itself, and it just wouldn't stop. And she said it happens to her a lot. And
Stanley said, I know you probably need some toilet paper.
He said, let me help you.
He said, let me help you. I know that you probably struggle a little bit. I'm just gonna...
He's like,
I'm
I
gonna
got your
help you."
back, girl.
He's like, I know it's like kind of difficult for you to like unroll it yourself sometimes. I like to think of myself as a professional. So I'm just
I'm
going
professional,
to...
so I'm
I did major in toilet paper unrolling when I was still alive. So I'm just gonna help you out with that. I'll even teach you. You want to go in small circles. You don't want to just yank it out. No,
just
you want to
really
be
small.
gentle, really small circles.
And it's like, goes like that, if that makes sense. Like,
Oh my god, that's so fucking scary.
and I remember Erica went to the bathroom, and then she ran out. She was like, come here, come here, come here. And I was like, what? And I went in and I saw it. It was still going. And it was still going. I was like, oh, I don't like that. And
I don't like that.
there was this one time.
Imagine if you were like, I like that.
He keeps going.
Erica's like, are you possessed?
And then one time, okay, so my mom washes the kids' hair when they take a shower, obviously. And the stuff was out, but I don't know who put them in the tub, but they laid them down in the tub. And they weren't moving. You know how sometimes they roll and they just like
Wait, she put what down in the
the
tub?
shampoo and...
Oh, the shampoo. I thought you were talking about the kids. And I was... You're like, how sometimes they roll? And I was like, I'm sorry.
You're
What?
like, the kids?
I was like, the kids just like start to roll sometimes? I've never experienced that.
But, like, when you put them in, and if they're gonna roll, they just roll, right? Well, they put them in, and Erica was like, come here. And I was like, what this, like, why do you keep calling me? And I went in there, and one of the bottles was just moving like that in the tub. Oh my god. Just one. was moving. The other one wasn't moving, so I was like, what the heck? So I was like, just tap the other one just to see if it's moving the same way. Nope, it rolls just fine. And we were like, and I looked at my mom. It has 2 minutes.
Okay.
I looked at my mom, and my mom, she doesn't like that. She's the inner black comes out in her when this stuff happens because she doesn't want to acknowledge it.
I love that for her.
She's like, whatever. Like, she tries to brush it off, even though, like, if it happened to her, she'd be freaking out. Nothing happens to her, and I think it's because she doesn't, like, pay attention to it. And I have
getting chills.
I have another thing, but I'll say it
After
this break.
But also, before we go on break, that's, like, really scary. Like, I thought mine was scary, and then hearing yours, I'm like, if I ever experience that.
What's funny is I'm just like, yeah, this happened.
You get so casual. You're like, haha. And I'm over here like, girl.
You're like, no.
I'm like, is this death? Like, what the hell?
I mean, he is dead. And on that note,
may he rest in peace.
R.I.P.
But do you know what is spooky?
What?
Ads. One of them has to do with the election. Do you know what's really spooky right now? The person who's in office.
Very.
You know what? I'm gonna let our ads take it away. And we're back. I couldn't get it together in time.
We're back.
Well, we're back. Thank you. You're more of a professional at this.
Yeah, I guess
this
I have to do it from now on.
We're back thing. It's
Yeah.
fine. I like it more. So, okay. So there's that. Why does that say Jenna? That's supposed to say Jen's. Stupid. Okay. So, a story that happened to my stepmom. Love her to death. Hi, Sister Jen, if you were listening.
Hi.
Queen. Love you to death. Hope you're doing great. Anyways. So, I hope I have the details right from this story still. So, she was telling me how the house that my dad and her used to live in, it was in Northfield. It was in, and for those of y'all who are listening from out of state of Colorado, if you've never been to Colorado, Northfield is just another part of Colorado. It's not really that important. Anyways, so where they lived, it was like almost where, where, I don't even know how to describe it. Okay, where like what's that place called? Like Perro. The like Panda Express is, and like Home Depot is over in Northfield.
Oh,
and
like
stuff.
Quebec.
Yeah, Quebec. That's the street. So like they lived over in that general area. And so one night my stepmom, she was like chilling in bed. I can't remember. I think my dad was in the room with her, and like I think they had the TV on, but like the volume was really low, like you couldn't even hear the TV. And like I actually am fairly certain that she said that it was muted anyways, but whatever. And so they're sitting in their room, like whatever, and she like, they're not even sitting, they're laying, like they're both about to like go to sleep. And so she's laying there in bed, and then she hears like this little girl laugh, and it's just like hee 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 hee, like, and she was like what the hell? And so like she stopped, and she was like Simon, did you hear that? And he was like, no, like hear what? And so
I always hate that. Oh.
And she's like the fuck? And so then like it happens again, and then she was like, did you hear it? And he was like, yeah, I heard it that time. And then we were like, and and we asked if I was there. I was the little girl,
And then
me, the little girl, and my other little ghostly friends.
I said, ow.
And so then like, so she's like, did you hear that? He was like, yeah, like I heard it that time. And so then she gets up, and like they like go, and like she opens up their bedroom door, and like look, like is like waiting to see if like she hears anything, and like she doesn't hear anything. for a second, and then like she like walks out into like the living room, and then she hears it again, and like she heard it come from downstairs, and like, or no, not even from downstairs, from the office, which is like right next. How the house was set up, it was like, so there was I wish I could describe this. Okay, so like this beautiful rectangle, right? Front door is right here. So when you walk into the front, like through the front door, there's immediately like this lovely little family room, living, whatever, with the TV. And then the kitchen table's right here. And then the kitchen is in this little area right over here. And right next to that, there's like a little doorway, and it goes downstairs, and that leads downstairs to like the two guest bedrooms. And then there's like a single step that goes this way that leads to the office and then to the garage. And so she heard it come from the office, which obviously is not that far away from where she currently was. And so like she was like, no. And so like she was gonna go check, and then she decided not to, because she was like, I don't think so. And then I think she ended up having my dad check, and like my dad didn't see anything, he didn't find anything, like there was nothing there, like whatever. And because at first she thought it was like a cat, she was like, oh, like maybe it's just like a little cat like meowing, like whatever, I'm just like losing my mind. And then like when it like kept happening, she was like that's when she was like, did you hear that? And he was like, no, like I didn't hear anything.
Cats are so creepy.
They're so fucking creepy. I love cats so much. They're so fucking cute and adorable, except for when they're being evil and they try to claw your fucking eyes out. But like, they're so fucking adorable, but they're so creepy. I hate them with a passion.
Like there's like the other night, not night, it was in the morning because I get up early, and I heard a cat outside my, like in my backyard, just like meowing. And I was like, first of all, I couldn't even see where this cat was at, but it sounded like it was.
First of all,
it sounded like it was underneath my window. And I was
cats are so crazy, dude. They just be getting themselves into like weird little positions. We had a neighbor a few years ago who had a cat, and it was like a black and white cat, and it was like kind of thick, and it was a little thickums, and it looked like a cow, and me and my sister called it Cowty. Yeah, no regrets on that one. But yeah, that's beside the point.
Oh.
So yeah, all right, it's your turn.
Wait, where did I leave off with the last one?
Oh, you left off with.
Oh, okay. So, like I said,
shampoo bottle.
In the loft.
With the kids rolling in the tub.
How I said that the ghost, sorry, not multiple, stay
She's
in the
like,
loft.
there's only one. If there was two, I couldn't handle it.
In the loft. But I think they also gravitate towards Erica, which I know she hates hearing because I've told it to her. But the reason I think this is, one, her room is always freezing. It's always cold. And I remember this one time I was in her room. I think I was literally talking about how I was like just seeing something, or I just heard something. And all of a sudden, I'm not even joking, it scared the fuck out of me. Have you seen her room?
Briefly.
It's kind of like yours. Like her bed's right here, and then her closet's back here, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. So we have
And,
the same room. Is
like,
what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and the window is like right here. And I heard and I was standing like this talking to her as she was sitting on her bed, and then I heard behind me something like that. And I stopped, and I was like, did you hear that? And she was like, yeah. I was like, is your window open? And she was like, no. And I was like, I'm leaving. Goodbye. And she was like, no, you gotta come back.
She's like, you can't leave me.
She's like, you can't leave me. I was like, it's not my room. She's like, exactly, please come back. And I came back. But yeah, I'll hear things like that in her room. And I was like, and I'm always like, is your window open? Like, is things happening?
Sorry, I'm drinking my beverage. To everybody wondering what's happening here.
But yeah, that freaked me out. And then what? What are you hearing? That?
Someone's cutting the grass. I was like, I'm hearing like some sort of engine type thing. We're just gonna get the rest of that off. Gross.
But another thing, again, like I said, my mom doesn't like talking about this stuff, so she doesn't really talk about it. Oh my god.
I did not think that was gonna happen. I made a mistake. All right, next time we're just gonna burn the headphones. How about that?
Good idea. But what was I gonna say?
Your mom.
Oh, okay. So, how long ago? I think 4 years maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think 4 years ago my grandpa had died.
Your grandpa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her dad, my mom's dad, and she says a lot of the time, like sometimes she'll like be like walking around, and she'll out of nowhere she'll smell cigarette smoke, and that's just like that's how she knows that my grandpa's like around her and is there and stuff. And apparently I didn't know this. But he also leaves feathers around.
Why?
I don't know. And like
Does he like birds?
No, that's why I'm confused when this is why I asked her. She was like, she's like, since he died, I've been seeing a lot of feathers.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I know it's him, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's weird. I was like, is it the same type of bird? Like, I'm asking these questions because I'm curious. And she's like, yeah, Joanna, he's just walking around with the same bird, plucking the same feathers off this one fucking bird. And I was like, I feel like my question was valid, okay? I was like, maybe the type of bird means something, okay? And she was like, no, it doesn't. But anywho, she went to a psychic, and I'm not going to say everything that she said, but basically she was saying that my grandpa was watching over her this whole time, and he was like ready to pop off because some things were going on in her life. And he was like, yeah, I'm there for you. He's like, you need to get a gun, you need to do all this and that to protect yourself. And I was like, and he was like, you need to get a security system and all this and that. And I was like, I think we need to listen to Grandpa.
Right.
And I think we need to get all this together.
Right.
Like,
maybe we should take Grandpa's
I now
advice.
feel unsafe.
Did you ever meet him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He would come around all the time.
Okay.
I know my mom's parents.
Okay.
I mean,
Tight.
I know my dad's mom. I don't know his dad. He doesn't talk about him.
Oh.
I probably shouldn't have said that. It's fine.
It's fine. I probably shouldn't. Wow, that's crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You have really good story. Okay.
Stories.
Oh, Jacob Padilla commented on. Wait. No. I don't think so. We're sorry to see you go. No, it has not ended, and I'm gonna redo that.
What happened?
The drive. I forgot to update the payment method because my card situation.
Oh, okay.
And so they canceled it. So now I have to go back in and redo.
Bro, I thought you were talking about. Jacob said we're sorry to see you go, and I was like, wait, what happened?
Jacob's like, you're like, wait, does Jacob see the future? Is there something that we don't know?
Wait, what's going on?
Okay, so the next one is, this is another one from when we lived at my dad's house, or this was during my sophomore year, my first semester of my sophomore year when I lived with my dad. What happened?
So a kid I used to go to school with replied to my story, and I was like, oh, he's so nice. I thought it was my mom who replied.
Tell him to send us a voicemail. Link in the YouTube bio. Nothing Fancy Podcast.
Nothing fancy podcast on YouTube.
Podcast. We just keep saying it back.
Go subscribe.
Go subscribe.
Ew, they hear the gum.
Subscribe.
Okay, yours.
Okay, so mine is that. Okay, so this was my first semester of my sophomore year. I was living at my father's house, really good in time, super good and fresh, loved it. And it was probably it was 3 o'clock in the morning. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Conversation about morning. Actually, the words are 5 o'clock, but I switched it up for 3. Anyways, not the point. So I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping in my bed. My mouth just farted, for anybody wondering what that sound was. I can't take myself serious at this point. It's a problem.
It's a real spooky podcast.
It's a spooky podcast. Like, cool, great, thanks. So I'm sitting there. I'm sleeping there in my bed. It was a bunk bed. And so I didn't use the bottom bunk. I had always wanted to sleep on the top bunk. My dad would never let me sleep on the top bunk when we were younger because he was afraid that I was going to fall out. My sister was older, and he was like, I trust her. She's not a wild sleeper. I'm a very wild sleeper. There was literally one time I woke up There's one time when I still had a twin bed when I was in like 5th grade. I literally woke up with like my body hanging off the fucking bed and like literally had no recollection of like how that may have
Is
happened.
that just boy things? Because Donovan fell off his bed the other night.
I don't know. Well,
and,
no,
like,
I know
didn't wake
girls
up.
do it too. But like I literally just like
That's
I just
fair.
used to be like a really heavy sleeper when I was younger. I still am a pretty heavy sleeper. My sister has like she was just telling me the other day. She was like, I hate that you have so many alarms because like you sleep so heavy that like your alarms go off for like a good 5 minutes before you even like turn them off, like before you hear them. And I'm like,
She's like, I hear you shit before you do, and I'm over it.
right. And so anyways, so I'm at my dad's house. I'm sleeping. This is like when I live with him, and I'm like, cool, great, tight, like whatever. I'm sleeping. It's a good time. And I end up waking up in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., and I can't move my body because I have sleep paralysis.
Oh my
really
God,
good,
that's
fresh,
always
really good
scary.
time.
Like the thought of that scares me.
It's not a fun feeling. So I'm sitting there, and my dad had a lot of clothes. Like he always like put a lot of his clothing in our closet, and I was like, okay, like cool, great, like whatever. And like I didn't care, but because he had like some other stuff there, like he had stuff hanging on the door that night/week as well. Like the door wasn't gonna close, so I was like, okay, cool, great, whatever. Sorry, I'm dying. So I'm laying in bed, can't move, and then like I look over at the closet, and like I just like see someone standing there, and they like, and at first I didn't see them standing there because like at first I'm pretty sure that they were like when I like look back on this. And I look back on like when I first had like looked like taken a quick glance at the closet, there was like something like standing next to the closet, like not standing like but like crouched down, like like right on the inside of the closet, and I was just like, what the hell? And like I was like kind of like looking around the room because I was just like I can't move my body, and I like looked back over, and then there was like it looked like there was a person standing there,
Right.
and I was just like. It was like so terrifying, and then like they just like start to sway back and forth, and I was like, oh my god. And so like I start like literally like trying to wake my body up. I don't know how you're supposed to like wake your body up when you have sleep paralysis, but like literally like trying to like force my mind to like get its shit together, and I'm like and like kind of like forcing my body to like move and like vibrate, like I'm
Yeah.
like it looks like it looks like I'm having a seizure, literally.
My God, I'm sorry.
It looks like I'm literally having a seizure because I'm like violently shaking my body so that way
Right.
it will come out like alive and awake. And like I wake up and I like grab my phone and I turn on the flashlight, and then of course nothing's there. Like the figure's gone. There's literally nothing there. And so I was like, what the hell? Like what the hell? I turn off the flashlight, and then like nothing's there again, but then like when I look down it still looks like there's like still something there, and I turn on the flashlight, but like when I turn on the flashlight and I look at the closet like to see if something is really crouched down there, there's literally nothing in that space, literally nothing at all. Like and I was literally terrified, and so like I turned off my flashlight, I turned to my back, and I like put the covers over my head because I was mortified at that point. I was like, oh my god. And like I've heard people's like sleep paralysis stories before, and like I would say that mine's probably like a strong maybe like 5 or 6 on the scale. Y'all, if you can hear anything in the background,
We are sorry.
I'm so sorry. Everyone decided today was a good day to do freaking yard work, so I'm so sorry.
Do friggin' yard work.
But yeah, no, I was literally terrified. Like I've heard a lot of like really scary sleep paralysis stories, but like I would say that theirs are a lot scarier than mine, but I would say mine's probably like a strong like 6 or 7 on that scale, because like
Has
that
it
was
ever happened again?
yeah,
Really?
yeah, not with like I think that figure that night, from what I can remember, it looked like that figure had like hair, so unless that bitch got a haircut, I've only like anytime I've
bitch
had
got a
sleep
haircut.
paralysis, anytime I've ever had sleep paralysis after that, I always see like a man. So maybe it was only that house. I don't know.
Is that the same house that
That my stepmom
heard
heard the
little-
laughing.
Maybe it's the house.
Yeah, I think it's the house. And I don't think they've heard anything or like had any experiences at like their current house.
Yeah,
thank
it's
God.
probably the house, so
Yeah.
it's not them, which is good.
Which is
It's
good,
not
but that also
following.
means that this house is equally as creepy, because like now I still see like a male figure and like the height and like
Maybe
I mean like I
that's-
can't see their face obviously, but like they look like from how they look as a demon, a sleep paralysis demon, they look young. So like if it's actually like a demon and or even a ghost, like same thing I guess in some sense, like like I'm assuming they're like fairly young, like because like they don't look like old and like raggedy and like they look. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. So yeah, that was a really long story. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Mine was longer.
She said mine was longer. She said try again.
Mine was way longer.
How much time do we have left? We have 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. What's your next? How long is your next story?
I mean, I had one that someone told me in elementary school that truly scarred me.
Okay.
And it could be completely false.
Okay.
But,
Give us as much detail as you can.
okay. So,
In
I remember...
5 minutes, because we also have to do HR meeting.
I remember in elementary school, I think it was like 4th or 3rd grade.
Uh-huh.
These girls, like, me and these couple of these girls went to the bathroom. And they were like, cut it out.
I'm like, Joanna.
And they
Did
were
anybody
like,
fall in?
no, nobody actually went to the bathroom.
No.
I never
so
went.
stupid.
After they told me this, I never went to the bathroom at school because it scared me so fucking much. They were like, this girl was like, I'm gonna tell you a scary story that my grandma told me when she went here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what got me. Okay, this is what got me. She was like, a long time ago there was this lady who killed her kids, and she killed them in like a river or something not too far from here. Again, as I say this, you're gonna be like, well, there's a lot of stories like that, you know?
Right. I immediately thought about Yona.
And she was like, and this girl played me. Oh my god, that's the exact same story. This bitch played me.
What did she say?
Then
I like how you immediately thought of like the rest of the details of the story, and you're like, huh, wait.
because if it is the same, this bitch played me, and she was like, and her and her friends came to the bathroom,
Uh-huh.
and they opened one of the stalls, and the lady was there holding one of her babies, and she was crying, "Help my baby! Help my baby! Help my baby!"
This is literally about Yona.
I don't know it. I didn't know any scary stories as a child. Okay, I didn't know this bitch was playing me. I bet her friends did. However, I didn't know I was getting played. Okay, she was screaming to her, "Help my baby! Help me! Help me!" And there was blood started coming from her eyes, and then blood started coming on the walls. And I was like, "At this school?" And she was like, "Yeah, in this bathroom." And I was like,
Wait, you were in elementary school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. I also feel like a lot of kids make up stories that like their elementary schools are haunted, because in my elementary school there was this ongoing story / joke like amongst all the kids. Like we like all tried to like convince certain people that like the school was haunted, because there was always like,
Jesus Christ.
like real life. If y'all can hear that, I'm so sorry.
We're almost done. It's okay. It won't last long.
But I literally was just like, the ceiling had like, you know how like the school ceilings look like they're not anything fancy, and like the ceiling had like stains on it, and they were like dark red, like it looked like blood, and so like and they were like all throughout the school, and so like we all like convinced people that like the school was haunted, and that like the guy who made the school like murdered a bunch of people and like used their bodies to like build the like he like used their bones and like mulched. I don't know what was wrong with us as children.
Clearly, mine made a little more sense. They said that it was built on an Indian burial ground, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Really? Oh, okay.
That's why I hate the
whites
gym.
stole America. That cool.
Like-
that makes sense.
But after she told me that, I never went to the bathroom at school again. The last 2 years, I never went to the bathroom unless it was like, you know, the class going to the bathroom. Only time, because there was people there.
Right. You
I would
don't
never
by
go by
yourself.
myself.
There was one time we played Bloody Mary in the bathroom when I was in like 3rd grade. That was traumatizing for me. They were like, spin around, say Bloody Mary 3 times, and then like they were like, and then stop and like look in the mirror, and then like they told me to like go in the bathroom by myself, and I was like, okay. So like I went to the bathroom by myself, and like I did it, and like the door closed, and I was like, okay. So like I did it, and then they were like, and then just like stare in the mirror and like until you see something or until you hear something, and I was like, okay, and then I did it, and like I swear to God, I swear to you, Joanna, I did it, and like I look in the mirror, and I'm like just like kind of standing there for a second, and then I hear something in the bathroom, and it almost sounded like the sound of toilet paper ripping, and I was like, oh, bitch, and I was like, y'all let me out. I'm like, I like went to go pull on the door, they're like holding the door shut, and I was like, y'all are f***ed up, and like I started like banging on the door. Luckily, a teacher happened to be passing by, and they're like, hey, like what are you guys doing, like blah blah blah. Never again did I ever do that shit. Never again. I was terrified.
Like that. Your mom was probably just using the bathroom.
Yeah. All right. Well, it is time for public HR meetings. Wow.
With us.
With us, Jaden and Joanna.
I feel like it just, without the us, it just
With
feels
us.
flat,
Yeah. With us.
Yeah.
Come to public HR meetings with us.
Anywho, who has
Anyways,
it this week?
it's your turn.
It's my turn?
Yes, I did it last week. Yes, I did it last week.
Okay.
Because you got your new laptop, and I praised you because you like got the editing software, and you were still able to get the video and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Joanna.
Hi, Joanna.
Welcome back.
What's your name backwards?
Anoj.
Not Edge for me. Hi, I'm not Edge.
Hi, I'm Anoj. Totally.
Anoj.
I couldn't get it out.
You sound like Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
Hi, why am I being called to this meeting? I'm not in trouble.
You're actually, this is actually praise.
Oh, thank God.
And I don't want this to come
said it.
off wrong either, okay? This week, this is gonna sound so bad. I actually don't want to say it.
No, just say it. We're in the public HR meeting. It's fine.
Okay.
It's an HR meeting. There's no harm, no foul. Well, except for when there is. But like, still, go ahead.
Okay, here it comes. I'm praising you this week because you didn't bombard me with texts the entire week.
You want to know why that is? Because the only reason why that is because you weren't editing my video this week. I feel like for some reason subconsciously I'm like, Joanna's busy editing my video. Bother her. I don't know why my mind goes there.
I thought about that. I was like, this is the one week I'd be like, okay, it's fine.
Right.
No.
Because the video is like super short too. And I was just like, cool, great, type later. But I'm stupid and don't know how to do things.
But yeah, I just appreciated not being stalked. I'm just kidding.
Well, you're welcome. I try my best. I don't know how much time we have left.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Wow, cute. Yeah, no, I do try my best. I'm so sorry if I, just bombard you with texts. I just love you so much, and I just like love to talk to you.
I love you too, and I can get over it because I know that's why you do it.
Did you hear it? That buzzing sound? That was the
What?
garbage disposal.
And I think it's time to end this.
Yeah.
It has been a great episode.
Wow. We're going to try to... I kind of like... Do you have more stories?
No.
No?
I mean, I can ask my mom if I could say hers.
Ask your mom. I kind of want to do a bonus episode for this one. For this
Okay.
week. Because like that... This is like a really fun topic. I kind of like this. It's like really good and fresh.
I can ask the people around me if I can get some of that tea.
I literally have like 2 stories, and that's it. So like, it's not like anything super crazy. But
Like, meanwhile, everyone I know is like into the spirit shit and like the energies and all that shit.
Right.
So they have tons of stories.
I mean, heck yeah, bro. Why? Why are you so aggressive today?
I don't know, but this has been great.
This has been really great. I hope y'all enjoyed this week's Love You Freaking episode of the podcast. I sound like I'm on my YouTube channel. I hope y'all enjoyed this week's Love You Freaking video, except this Love You Freaking podcast episode. And if you'd like to watch the film version of the podcast, you can go to Nothing Fancy Podcast on YouTube. And yeah, and if you want to send us voicemails, I think I'm going to start including the voicemails in the voicemail link in the description as like the first thing.
That's good.
So that way people can see it more. So y'all can start
Yes.
sending us voicemails because I think some of y'all might be a little confused as to where that might be.
Any advice you need, any questions you have for us, because we want to answer them really, really badly. Even though we have none right now, we want some.
We want it so bad. Please let us give you advice.
Please.
It's what we deserve.
It's just, we want to feel like real influencers.
Exactly. We're gonna do Q&As, except it's only advice. There's no questions, only answers.
Only answer. Send us whatever you want.
But not nudes. Please don't send us nudes. We don't want that.
Jane's a liar.
Oh, I thought you meant like for you.
No,
I thought you were
no.
like, Jaden's a liar because like you do want that. And I was like,
No,
Joanna,
no,
you have a
'cause
boyfriend.
Jade wants
No, I don't want that. I am a child of God. So, although I do go on my knees. Anyways, I hate myself. All right. Well, we love you. We will hopefully see you later this week with a
Yes.
bonus episode.
Or maybe the bonus episode will be next week. We haven't decided yet.
We haven't decided yet.
Any hoozles.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Oh, my God. Next week. Wait, what are we doing next week?
The writing one?
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. This is true.
Yes.
This is true.
Next week will be a little fun.
All right. Well, we're about to be out of time. Okay. So we have to go. Okay. Love you.
Bye.